Oh, well, I didn't want that to end. I was sitting here listening to the Can. Who's the Can by? Oh, I don't know. But anyway, listen, hello to you all, and it's nice to be back. I was away for a couple of weeks. First week was St. Patrick's, the week of St. Patrick's Day, so I couldn't really do anything. And then there was the Easter week, which I took off as a holiday, and I went down to the west of Ireland for a bit of a break and some work. I did a stint with a whole bunch of American ladies, teaching them how to paint in a place called Dromoland Castle. They were over with their husbands and families, and it was mostly the wives that I was teaching, so this was an activity for them while their husbands were actually in a meeting about work down the hallway. So it was wonderful. It was great fun, and it's an absolutely beautiful place, very near Bunratty Castle. It's kind of borders of County Clare and County Limerick. It was great, very cold, but it was good. What else? Yeah, I couldn't do the live stream last night either because I had an appointment which just went on for ages and ages and ages, and I couldn't get out of it. So that's my excuse. So listen, let me know if you're watching and where you're watching from, and then we'll begin. It'd be nice to make contact with you. Let me see. Now, it was one of you that recommended, or at least asked me to do something about the Scottish Colourists. Might it have been? But anyway, look, it doesn't matter. So I've been having a look at them. There were 4 of them. Leslie Hunter, John Ferguson, Francis Cadell, and Samuel John Peploe. And so it was. I had a choice of 4 to work with, and I chose Peploe, mainly because I've had a look at his work before, and I do like it. And so what I'll be doing today is my attempt, at least, of a Peploe type painting. But when you're talking about the Scottish Colourists, I mean, reading about them and looking at their work, you're mostly really talking about French Impressionism. They were very taken by that. For example, Peploe himself was a big fan of Frans Hals. Frans Hals, Dutch painter, and his palette was very dark and very kind of monochromatic in the earlier on in his career. But he ended up painting more like sort of Matisse and Monet, Gauguin, that kind of thing. So really, that's what we're talking about. It's Impressionism, and they brought all that colour and vivacity and kind of brave painting, primary colours back to Scotland, which is probably not noted for its sort of sun-soaked colours like Ireland, really. So that's what I'm dealing with. One of the words used at the time about their work was garish. So, that was in those days, and they were probably used to more academic painting, and they were a bit taken aback by the strong use of colour and unfinished type paintings. The Impressionists in France had the same thing, didn't they? With the Salon des Refusés and all that kind of thing. So so that's what we're dealing with. So let me just click here, and let me go to here. Okay, so that's what I'm going to be painting. So soak that in, because it's more or less what I'm going to be painting. And let me just dig out the canvas and the teacher. If I can find it. Is that it there? No. Hang on, I'm going to have to edit these ones out. Let me find it. Half slide group. Oh yes, here we go. Right, okay. So let me take this back for a second. Yeah, so it's on a bit of a slideshow. here we've got work of Peploe, and this is what he kind of more or less ended up painting like, and this is another a good example too. And in a moment we'll get a self-portrait in the, yeah, see those dark sort of almost Sargent type palette that he used there, based on this is another one here. So that's why he changed from. I mean, it's very lovely paintings, but this is what's shocked the Scottish establishment. You wouldn't think something like that would be shocking, would you? But anyway, there it is. So that's it. And go back to where, to what I'm going to be painting. It's hard to actually. Oh yes, here we go. So you'll have to sort of keep that in mind, because you probably won't see it after this. You'll just see my painting. So now, as for palette, anybody, if you're viewing, just do leave a message. It spurs me on. So I'm just going to change to and talk about the palette for a moment. So here I'm going to be using well, that's actually mixing white. I don't want that. Can't stand mixing white. Titanium white. Okay. I'm going to use a more extended palette than I normally use. So cadmium yellow light hue and cadmium yellow medium. Okay. I'm going to have two reds. I'm going to have my cool red, which is the permanent crimson lake. It's very much like alizarin crimson, and cadmium red medium. French ultramarine is going to be my blue, and I'm going to put a green. I'm going to use Viridian on my palette too. I think I'm ready to go there then. Okay, well let's lay these out then. Let me see. So let's put this one down here. Myself plenty of paint. I'll put my yellow out there. I'm not using an earth, yeah, I'm not using yellow ochre. I want the thing to be, painting to be bright. So, yellow, a bit of warm yellow. Now my reds, I'll start out with the warm. Gosh, it's hard to get the lid off this. I hope you can hear me too. Yeah, so make sure if you can, if you're having trouble hearing me, just put a note in. It's coming out like a big sausage, that one. Okay, maybe I'll give myself more of that. And here's the cool red. I haven't used this in so long, so the lid is hard to get off. Here's my cool red, my alizarin crimson. Now my blue, ultramarine. And my Viridian. Yeah, there you can see them all there. I'll keep them all beside me so that I can see what's going on. Right. Okay. So, let me grab my brush. These are the brushes I'm going to use. In fact, I use that one just to put on the wash. And there's my solvent. I'm using Zest It, by the way. It's a studio safe solvent. And if I go to my canvas now, there you can see the the palette there in the corner. And I need to get up my phone just so that I have my picture, the gallery. I need something to paint off myself, you see. Where is it? Just bear with me for a second. Gallery. It's not there. Once I start these things, view image. Now I've got it. That's wonderful. Yeah, okay. So let's start then. I'm going to start by making just a bit of a dark blue and burnt sienna. I've got a bit of burnt sienna on the palette too. Yeah. Just so that I can do a drawing. Okay, so one of the features of the Scottish Colourists was was these very gestural kind of strokes. I don't want to do too much of a finely wrought drawing. I just wanted to and the flowers coming up here like this, going up into the corner there, down. Apple, I'm going to move those apples down a little bit just for composition's sake. Okay, and another one a little bit further down there like that. There's a vase. The photographer set everything at the same kind of height, which is a shame really. Could have been a more interesting composition. Apples, so let's put a bit of a up there. The flowers start here, there, small flower there, flowers, there's a flower head down here, push that over a little bit. There's an apple in the center there, apple there, green apple, and then another red apple there. Apple there, and then you can see a couple of apples hiding there behind the other two. Okay, center of the apple there, center there, shadow there, table, and that area there is sort of with those window frames behind it. Make sure there's plenty of foliage there, and then there's another flower head here. Okay, and then the table comes out. I'm going to make the table come out a bit more. I think it kind of needs it. You can come out to the edge there like that. And then there's something else behind there, which is, I don't know what it is actually, but must be another bit of table or something like that. That's my drawing, I think. There, up there. There. Okay, so just to remind you of the drawing it again. Let's have a look, where is it? example of artist. No, half off. Canvas main. Slideshow. There we go. Okay, so remember that's what I'm painting. Back to the canvas. Okay. So what I'm going to do first of all is mix up some deep red. So cadmium red plus a little bit of alizarin would give me a very vibrant red. Okay, so to the canvas. Okay, so red there, red there, red there. That apple's red there, that one's red there, and this one's red on that side. That's a dark in there. Okay. And let's put in some of these flowers. Okay, and here we go, up there. You get a very beautiful, rich red by mixing cadmium and alizarin together. It really does amp up the red. When you're doing your illustrations of Santa next Christmas, you'll know what to do. Now, there's a kind of a pattern around here, which is like that, up there, there, come up there like that, and then down. That's red too. Okay, now we can move on. I'm going to put the supporting foliage under those flowers. So I'm going to use my Viridian in yellow, maybe, and a bit of blue in one side, just a touch of white in it, and that can be here like that, and maybe a little bit under here. Add some more yellow to, and a touch of red to make it more natural for the foliage here, up there. So there. And in the apples here as well, I'm just going to put those in so I don't forget where they are. Yeah, and oh, there was an apple that was here, in fact, that I actually missed out on. Put that up a little bit there. Okay. And that's a green apple there, that one. It's worth using sort of plenty of paint as well. So there. Now let's get in a couple of reds that need to go in. There's a rim on that that lovely bowl. We'll put that in. And also I forgot the red there. Now, the surface that is all sitting on is a pink. So I'm going to make a pink out of white plus the two reds. See how that goes. Yeah. and make it a nice warm pink, a bit more white. Paint that there, up around there. I can miss out, don't have to paint absolutely every square inch of the surface. They were quite immediate painters, they were impressionists. So. Okay, now up behind all of that is essentially a kind of a very light green. So I'm going to actually grab my light green, a bit more viridian, more yellow, more white. And I might sort of push it towards the yellow a little bit. And shape all of that around. Make it more yellow as it goes off to the right. Whoops. Now, and then down here too. And then it goes quite yellow indeed there. I keep hitting off my camera with the brush. Nothing I can do about it. There's long brush and not much room to work in. You can come there like that. Okay, and then behind the whole thing, it's a very light tone here, and also here too. Comes across there like that, all described very quickly. Now there's a kind of an orange just that comes along here, so I'm just going to put that in just for variety's sake. I can go in here, it's probably a curtain or something like that. And then that bright green of the bowl. And I'm going to put that into here, come up around there, and we got that there. A bit of a shape to that glaze. I mean, it's a very modern sort of scheme to that bowl, and then there's green apple there. Okay. Now there's that vase, the other vase, which is a very kind of light, warm pink, almost an orange. I'm just going to put that in there, like that. Comes down there. Now a little bit of shape on those apples. I'm going to add a little bit of blue. That apple there. And hopefully this will start making them a bit more three-dimensional. So I always think of Cézanne when I paint apples. He said, "I will amaze Paris with an apple." And then he fled back to the south of France for a while. His confidence left him. Put that there like that. Now, my shadows being cast by these objects. Hang on, let me just push that back to make. Let me see. Okay. Now, what was I doing? Oh, yes. a little bit more white there, I think. There, no, not white, but very, very pale green in there. There. The flowers. I'm just going to make a dark with more alizarin than cadmium, and that'll give me a reasonably darker red. And I'm just going to sort of establish the shapes of some of these flowers. There's, in there, they're darker. It's a bit darker up there. And this flower is quite a lot darker there. Now, I'm going to change my brush to a slightly smaller brush. Okay, so now I'm going to put some darks in. So I'm going to use blue. Mix it in with the green to get a kind of a dark here. There. There's a dark in there. There's a dark to establish the shape of that apple. That there is actually quite a lot of, excuse me, alizarin in that. We'll put that down there like that. That's dark in there. Dark across here. Up. Okay, and then there's this apple here, which is dark there, and as it comes towards the light, this apple here is dark at the back. That is dark there. Let's have a look in there. So, well, let's stick with the apples for the moment. So strong strokes, not. I'm not tickling the strokes in after they've been sort of applied. It's got to look kind of dynamic, and that's in the brushwork, isn't it? There, like that. Okay. Now, what can I do now? There's some pink, red, pink work on that. There's a pattern on that jug there. I'm not going to over describe it. Like that. Bit there. There's a bluish part of the pattern going up there. I'm not sure what it is. And then obviously that pink surface which it's all sitting on is being reflected up into that vase, and there too. I might actually sort of extend that pattern out there a little bit more. Connect that with the flower. I want to go back to my pink surface, which everything is sitting on. That's there like that. Here there's plenty of light coming in. Strong, bold strokes. You let your brushwork be seen. That can come there like that. Sculpt that a little bit. I've extended that table upwards, so there's okay, I want to work in a little light blue here. Comes there like that, and maybe here too. I have that apple poking out there, extending into that green area there. And that can have some light blue too. Darks I've missed, yeah, some darks down here, I think. Put that in there. Dark there. There's a dark here. Now, there are some pinks, which are very much like the pinks that the whole composition is sitting on, but they're in the apples. So there's one there. There's one there. Where else? You can see one in the apple here. There. That is obviously reflecting the surface, the tablecloth. There are some reflections of the pink in here, which is obviously being picked up from down below here. So I need some more description down here. That can go there like that. There's a light down the left-hand side of the bowl, so I'm going to make that a very, very light green, I think. So a bit of viridian, bit of white, and some cadmium yellow medium. And this one goes down there like that. Anywhere else? In fact, it's here too. Okay. And also, it's across the top of this apple, because it's a very cool part of that apple. And then here. Now, those are more yellow, so I'm going to put a bit more yellow into that green. And yeah, that's better. There. That can go across there like that. This goes lighter as it gets to the top. No green in that apple. There's some green in here. It is a very green composition. Green and pink. It's okay. Now, pinks in some of those flowers too. So I'm going to make them a warm pink, I think, to begin with. So cadmium red, medium plus white. Let's see what that does. Okay, so I'm going to put that across there like that. There. Down here like that. There. I can see some other hues in the flowers too that I'll address later. There. That part. Right, okay, so we've got that. There's some pinks here that I missed in that apple there. Comes around there like that. That there, I want that to filled in there, that apple there. Now there's some cool lights coming in over the top of those apples, and I want to do them now. So white plus blue plus alizarin crimson give me a kind of a violet colour. You can see it on quite a lot of what is there. Just strong sort of outside light coming in there, coming across the top of that there, even in that flower. What else here? Yes, definitely in this apple here, across the top of that there. Where else do I see it? It's slightly redder, so slightly more crimsony, sort of on these flowers here. Just a little few strokes in there. Okay, so now I want to put in a bit of nuance in the ceramic bowl. Just over this side, it's reflecting cool, so I'm going to put that there, cool green. Okay, where else do I see things? Yes, I want to go back to my light blue and shape that there. Have it come into there. I'm mixing it with the with that yellow there. It's quite nice to do that. I think that kind of works. Maybe I could put a line down there. Push that across there. I need to actually put a light in underneath the bowl, and it's very bright actually, so I'm going to go brighter than that, and that means I can shape the bowl too there, and then that can be shaped a bit more there. Okay, and here too, it's very bright. In fact, you can lose the edge, it's so bright. There, let's look. Do leave a message if you're there. I'm talking to myself here. It does help. Let me see if I can put. It doesn't matter what you say. If there's any questions you have, do ask away. It's actually very useful for me to do that. Also makes me sort of understand what I'm doing myself. So if I have to explain it, it helps it lodge in my ancient brain as well. So I'm going to add in a few strokes in there, across there, because it's really red. I'm not going to dwell on those. Now, I'm going to put in shadows underneath these things, and I think I'm going to do them in a... Let's see what happens if I can do them in ultramarine plus white, plus a little bit of alizarin crimson. See what happens. So this is the darkest dark, so to speak. There, and I have to do the same thing with the apples here. There, and this one too. Okay. I don't see any other. Sort of darks. I think it could go slightly more violet. Let's have a look, and maybe it can come across here as well. So Now, there are other sort of lights that I need to get in before I can proceed, and they're quite pinkish violety, I suppose, again. So let me just add some white to that. For example, one there. I don't want to get in too close to these apples. There's some highlights in there. Where else? Highlights there. One there. We've got that one there. There's a secondary highlight in there. Now I need some more vivid reds. So alizarin and cadmium red together. That means I can sort of put some there. Oh, that definitely helps there. That one comes across there like that. Okay. There is definitely some of that pattern missing off that edge there. Okay. And now let me come along with the bowl there like that, and I need more pattern there as well. Come out there like that. There's more red around that apple. Okay. Now there are some darks, so I'm going to put them in as a blue and alizarin mix. For example, in that apple there, put that there. That's casting shadow in there. Here needs to be described a bit more. There. There's an apple behind there. There's a dark on that apple behind that one as well. Now there's another light coming across here like that. There like that. Oh, I need a bit of a pink reflected from the surface of the tablecloth just under there, which is logical, and a bit of a yellow green there, and coming around here. That's all done. I need a dark in that apple there. Now I'm going to grab some blue for a start. Not a dark blue, but I'm going to start delineating things, okay? Which is what Peploe was inclined to do. Like that, come around like that. I can put in a bit of a join there. So I'm not really sort of, it's kind of touching and then sort of, I'm not laying down a huge load of paint here. I'm just sort of letting it ride across the top of the paint that's already there. And the apples too, although I might make some of the lines slightly different colours, I suppose. So maybe I could make that a more purpley colour. So that's ultramarine blue, alizarin crimson, and a bit of white. There. I can do those ones as well. That one can come there like that. You can establish the appley shape of your apples now at this stage. let's put that in there, come around there. It's just such a French way of painting, flooding your paintings with light and colour, and the shades or the shadows cool and warms for the bits you want to come forward in the light. Now, this is what I loved him do. He just delineated the flowers. Did old Peploe. There. Now, obviously, I'm not Peploe, and it's kind of a difficult thing to imitate. A painter's work. So it'll only ever be a kind of an imitation, because I don't know how he actually worked out. Oh, sorry, I just whacked off the camera again. I love the way he did these sort of jagged shapes to represent the petals of the flowers. And also we've got the flowers up here too. There should be a red in there. That doesn't matter. That's fine up there. Let's put in some highlights, some warm highlights. So white plus cadmium yellow, medium, plus a touch of cadmium red. And lots of white. And let's put in some highlights, since this thing is all about sort of brightness and sunshine and kind of highlight there. Maybe a couple of highlights into this vase here wouldn't go amiss. That might be nice. Now, I'm going to highlight the green areas too. Let's grab this and they'll do nice with a nice. So that's viridian with a little bit of white added, and the same on this side. So that's a cool green, which is kind of what you want in the shadows. Oh, and didn't I forget that that flower head there? Isn't that the same with all of us? We go on, you get the sense that these characters, the so-called Scottish Colourists, went off on a skite to France and came back, and this is basically they were affected ever afterwards with the joy of going on a sun holiday. Now there's some highlights on the edge of the bowl here. That would be good. Oh, I need some more highlights around those apples here. So this one here can be like that. And that in there like that. And then we've got another apple there. That needs an edge there, and so does that one up there. There. And now I'm going to sort of do some work on the pattern. There is a pattern, an extra sort of dark sort of pattern on that bowl. So I'm just going to kind of put that in there like that. I'm not going to sort of overdo the description, but it just needs to have something there. So that comes around there like that, and there are these swirly patterns in there. That comes around there like that. Swirl there, swirl there. Swirl there, up around there, comes around there like that. Funny thing is that there isn't a great deal of reflection going on underneath that bowl. Let's have a look. Yes, a darker, fuller red just underneath that highlight there. I think that would help there. And then some darker delineations, I think, in the flowers. Not overly descriptive, just come in there like that, and there's a darker one in there. And across there like that. Now, what am I going to do? Yes, some nice sort of colour changes in the background. And let's see how this will work. Lots of yellow, bit of green, bit of white. I think it would help it. Bit more white, I think. Lots of paint. Something to make the thing stand out a bit. Make sure it's garish, like they were accused of being. There. Emphasize those jaggedy parts. Do something with the pink at the bottom too. Grab some white and make more of this. I mean, there is a kind of a pattern on that surface, but I don't want to over describe it either. What's the word? They were brave and all those primary colours and simple descriptions. Not all simpler. I was looking at a book of the colorists, and there's very fine work in there too. You know, it's beautiful. I'd love to go and see some of the originals in real life. I think I might darken some of those delineations too. Let's have a look. For some reason I don't want to join that one up in there. And a bit of dark under that apple there. Sure, they must have painted larger than this. This is about A4 in size. It's not terribly big. Put in some more. Fix that. And any sort of apple-y kind of greens in here, so I'm just going to put a few in just because they must be in there. Sometimes it's hard to sort of discern them, but yeah, you kind of put them in anyway. Oh, there's no centre to that apple. That's a good one. You never told me, did you? There. Where is it? Oh yeah, there. And there's actually an apple stem there. There's a dark we're missing in that one, and in that one too. And then that means put in something just to go around. It's catching the light there too. And this one doesn't have a key line around it. That's it. Maybe I'll put a stem on that one too. Yeah, that'll do. Push that one around a bit and get a bit of blue. Describe that shadow a little bit. Bring it up. Okay. There, like that. Finish that there, like that. And I might just do something with the vase here and its interaction with that apple there. Is there a highlight on that? I suppose there is. Let me grab some of that highlight colour there. Push that in there. And across the shoulder of the bottle, of the vase there. And then there's a little bit more patterning as well. There. want to just knock that that background above the flowers back a bit. There. Grab that orange, just re-establish that. There. And re-establish that light blue. There. Actually, and it wouldn't do any harm to have some of that in here. Shape that again. Now, I'm just going to do the reveal, I suppose. It doesn't want to be any more finished than that. So let me grab off the tape. Take it off the bottom of the paper. I had to use acrylics, a paper made for acrylics and oils this time, because I ran out of my texture canvas paper, and this stuff kind of tends to soak away the oil. I mean, it's supposed to, it says it's for oils, but it isn't really. What I do like about it though is it's much heavier, it's thicker paint paper. Okay, so look, that's the painting there. Let me just change cameras. Where are we? Oh yeah. Oh, look at that. It says subscribe. I didn't realise I'd done that. How do I get rid of that? There, go. Right, let me grab this across. Okay, so that's the painting there. And what I'll do is in the permanent, not the live stream, but I'm going to turn this into a demonstration, which will be a full YouTube video. It'll be cleaned up, you know, so there'll be less of me faffing around, because I'll edit it out, and then I can make a decent picture of this and paste it up there. But that is my attempt at a Samuel Peploe. And so if you have any questions, please do ask. There are a few of you out there. All I can see is a number. So it'd be nice to see anybody say anything. So if you do have something to ask me, please do now, because if there isn't anything, then I'll close it off. But look, tell me, did you enjoy it? What do you think? Did I make a decent fist of this job? Do you know Samuel Peploe? Have you ever seen the Scottish Colourists? You know, there's lots to say about them. As I say, I think they're very much part of the French impressionist tradition. And good for them. It's like I kind of wish I'd been there with them. But if I don't, and you can always get in touch with me through YouTube. I suppose there must be a way of contacting me through YouTube, or my website, which you can see. Where is it? Up in the corner, whichever corner it is. I can never tell which way it is. Oh yeah, I was right the first time. You know, do contact me. It'd be a pleasure to hear from you. So since there are no questions, I'll sign off, and we'll look forward to doing a new demonstration or talk next week. And do please contact me with any suggestions of what I might cover, and I'll do it if I can do it. You know, I can paint like you know, quite a few styles, but I can't paint everything. Anyway, look, but there you are. Listen, have a lovely week. Enjoy your painting. You know, do it. Paint oils, paint small, paint often. It's the best way. And you can sort of always come to my YouTube channel, or in fact down below you can see the fact that I've got for beginners, who want to learn how to paint, I've got a video course on Thinkific. So let me see if I can get rid of that now. It's all very complicated, isn't it? There. Okay, so listen, have a lovely week, and I'll see you again soon. Cheerio.